So first off, what a very, very good Butler team. Credit to them. They play a really good brand of soccer. They made it really difficult. Their movement was good. The way they brought their two forwards into midfield to overload, we struggled to kind of figure it out. Watching a lot of film on them, it wasn't really a matchup I was looking forward to the first time out, just because of how much they move and how organised they were. And it's an interesting one because we only had 1 day to prepare. So we didn't want to change to a different system because it didn't give us long enough to prepare. So testament and credit to the players. We found a way. We threw 4 up front the last 10 minutes and see if we could get something back. And Azu came trumps for us again. And so we'll take that, because if you'd have said to me before the game we'd get a draw, I'd have probably snapped your hands off. So I'll take that one. So.
Despite the draw today, we still clinch being able to host.
Yeah.
For the first round of the Big East tournament there. It'd be the first time since 2012, first time ever in the Big East. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, awesome. The goal that I'd set my first year as the coach was to get into the top 4. But then I said to the team before in the locker room today, it's like, the goal before the season was top 4, but now we're there, I want to finish 3rd. It's top 4 it's going to feel like almost a letdown if we finish 4th. So I still want to finish 3rd and finish up the season strong. But the goal at the start of the season was to get into the playoffs first and foremost, see if we could get to host a first game, and that's what we've done. So we've done exactly what we set out to do, but now we reset again and go again this week and get ready for the next one.
Questions?
Yeah, talk about the sequence with Anna and Mallory into the half. That was a crazy churn and finish.
Yeah. Well, one of the things in the game plan, we talked about quick releases and in behind and making the run. And it was the first and only time in the first half we did exactly what we said on the training pitch. So it was a perfect coaching moment for us because that's what we talked about. Unfortunately, it was the only time we did it. So there was other times where we took an extra touch, or the run was the pass went but the run was offside, or we took an extra touch so the run was delayed, and we just never got the timing right. But sometimes if you get it right once, that's why games aren't typically 10-10, because you never do it every time. So to do it once was good. But I was disappointed that we didn't execute that, because we knew they played a high line and we knew we needed to get in behind them, and we didn't do it enough. So.
Does it have any kind of impact, any type of long-lasting ripple effect, that it was 2 Omaha kids making plays for each other?
Love it.
I mean, Mallory's first goal, obviously Anna's had some moments this year.
Love that. I love the fact, when we can recruit local players, they're going to have that pride in the jersey, because they're not just representing Creighton but the community as well. So it's awesome to see that, and so proud of Mal to get her first goal today, because it was a great finish as well. But unbelievable ball from Anna Bragg. The vision and the decision making at the right moment was really, really good, and Mal, great finish, and it took us into half. But gosh, we were under the pressure second half. Credit to them, they're a good team.
For Anna, I mean, is that kind of what you've seen out of her for the past month?
Yeah.
Just making plays after plays?
Yeah. It was unfortunate for Anna because she got off to a slow start, because right at the start of the season she got sick. So she was out for a couple of weeks. So she came in, she was doing quite well, then she got sick, so she dropped off a little bit, and it took her a while to get back to where she needed to be. But ever since the Marquette game, she's been really good and really strong, and she's always in the mix in the starting 11 now, or coming off the bench early, and just the last few games she's got goals, she's got assists, so productivity has been fantastic. So really, really pleased for that. But also like Sav, another local kid, fantastic, and Judkins is having the best season of her career this year. She's the glue at the back that organises everything. So it's really great to see the local kids playing well.
So both you and Butler were coming off of winning streaks coming into this, and Butler hasn't really shown a problem on the road. So what was your message to your team, or your thoughts going into this?
Just knowing that Sunday soccer, after both teams playing on a Thursday, and then the travel and all the other things, Sunday soccer can be really ugly, and sometimes you have to find a way to get a result, and it will be ugly or might be ugly. That was ugly from us today. Credit to Butler, they played well today, which was, it's not easy to do that when you've just played back-to-back games and then had to travel as well. Going into it, we knew they were going to be a good team, and we kind of worked on how we have to stop them. But like I said, if you'd have told me before the game we'll get a tie, I'd have taken that. So.
How much does still his ankle injury impact just the control of the match that Butler was able to kind of exude early in the second half. It just seemed like they put you on a lot of
Yeah, you know, because she gives us a lot of energy in the press.
Yeah.
And she's like a little Energizer bunny, right? So when she comes off, but to be fair, Clara does a good job as well. But Stella's got that little bit of experience and that explosiveness, and she doesn't stop pressing, which makes it difficult to not give them time and space on the ball. So yeah, it's that experience that she gets, and then she's got the speed to get in behind as well. So we lacked that a little bit to start the second half, but hopefully we'll get her back in. Maria, our trainer, will work her magic, and hopefully have her back for next week.
You gave her a shot at 2-1. Did you see did she look limited? And that's why
She
you went
did.
with 4 top?
We put her back in, and she just looked like she wasn't 100%. She was a little bit tender with what she was doing, so we just thought throw fresh legs in and see what we can do. So unfortunately it worked for us, but hopefully, you know, even if, you know, the fact that we're in the first round anyway now, and we're getting to host no matter what, you know, we just have to look and see how things go on Thursday, but maybe, you know, she gets a bit more of a rest on Thursday potentially.
So. Azu's goal in a second, but Alyssa Zalek probably made some plays that might have. I mean, Azu's goal might not have mattered if Alyssa doesn't make those plays. I know she's probably not happy with conceding 2, especially one where she kind of had her hand on it before the header. Like that big save on Talia, who scored a lot of goals in her career. What did you see from her keeper?
Just like, I think it's every week. So she's upset at her performance today, and she knows she could have done better for the second goal, but I just saw her downstairs and I said, well, if it wasn't for you, some of these games we wouldn't have won. So she's kept us in a lot of these games, the close games that we've won 1-0 or 2-1. She's made 2 or 3 saves that if she doesn't make those saves, it goes the other way, and we're not in the top 4 right now. So she's having a brilliant season. She's disappointed today, and that'll just make her better for this week. So she'll be fine. But she's been fantastic for us this season.
When you swapped out Stella and put the 4 up top, just to kind of go for broke at that point, what were you trying to accomplish tactically other than find a goal?
Well, it's something we work on in practice. So if we're down a goal, we'll do scenario soccer. So if we're down a goal with 10 minutes to go, we'll throw 4 up front, and we'll play 3 at the back, 3 midfield, 4 up top. We go direct, and we'll win flick-ons and knockdowns and push the midfield high, and just try and see if we can get something. And today's actually the first time we've had to do it for a while, and it worked. So sometimes when you work on those things in training, you're not sure if they're going to come off, but it came off for us today. So.
You know, normally Azu's not a player that you would see unmarked in that area of the field. Does the 4 up top create such a cluster that it's hard to kind of manage?
It basically
everything?
doesn't give them any free players, and we have them back into players, and we serve everything direct. So there's going to be knockdowns in front, and then you hope the midfielders can pick off the second ball. And to be fair, Azu was in the right place at the right time, and what a finish! What a great finish! So we see her do that all the time. If everything would be, if you know, T is a huge loss for us right now, by the way, because she can play in the 6. And it sometimes allows us to free Azu to get further forward. And in an ideal world, I think Azu would be in the 10, but for this team, she has to play in the 6 right now. So.
Any other?
Well, you have talked a few times this year about kind of meeting the moment and pressure being a privilege. What did today feel like in terms of just everything that was up for grabs?
Today, considering that we were playing for a home game in the Big East tournament, I mean, there was so much pressure, and it was super fun. And we did kind of drop the ball at one point, but we came back and made it a tie and still got our home game in a couple weeks. So.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly did it in thrilling fashion, scoring late in the first, late in the second. How did those moments feel, I guess, considering how exhilarating it is to score with little time left in each period?
I think it's really fun to do it that way.
Yeah.
It's stressful, but it pays off in the end. I mean, it'd be best if we scored a little earlier, but heck, makes it a fun game.
So unfortunately, like there were 2 goals scored on you. How do you maintain your confidence and stay like controlled and composed after that?
I just channel like the rest of the season. Like I didn't think they were my best moments, but I trust myself as a goalkeeper and know that I can come through moments that count, even though maybe I didn't on those too. So just keeping belief in myself and knowing that we're not out of the game when it's 2-1. Like we can still come back and win it or tie it. So.
Talia Summers had a really dynamic career for Butler, and she finds the back of the net there late. You know, Azumi's goal doesn't matter. What did you see when she was kind of weaving through the box and trying to line up her window?
To be honest, I think they didn't they didn't have that momentum. They were just kind of playing to play at that point because they were comfortable with the lead. And I don't think she took that shot as well as she could have. She was easy to read. So I just kind of knew where she was going, and it made it easy for me. So.
Gotcha. How did it feel when when the clock hit 0? I imagine you wanted the 3, but Xavier won anyway, so it made it tough. But you're hosting now.
Yes.
They haven't done that since 2012, and that was on a technicality. So you actually earned the spot. Like, how did it feel to know that you guys are going to be playing a home match next weekend?
I think it was a big sigh of relief because we all believed that we could, and we kind of lost it there for a second. And just knowing that we got the tie and we got it anyways, because I'm pretty sure Villanova tied or something.
Yes,
so
they did.
it was more like a sigh of relief, but we know that we've earned it and worked hard in the past to get us to this moment.
So the pressure's pretty intense coming off of such a late score in the first half. Sorry. So how are you preparing for that? Because they're going to come out heavy. How are you going to prepare for that?
I think I just take halftime to really breathe, focus, know that this second half is going to rely on me. I'm going to have to pull off some really big moments, and it's just about focusing, locking in, and really getting my mind right for that second half.
Which you did. You had a really great save.
Yeah.
So what's going through your mind in that moment as you're trying to read the ball?
Just knowing that that moment comes down to me and me coming through. I don't know, just focusing, being ready, doing my job at the end of the day.
Take us through your vantage point on Azumi's equalizer.
I was really excited. Yeah. I don't know, it was that sigh of relief that I mentioned earlier. We almost got it off Anya, and then it bounced out, and then Azu put it in the back of the net. It was just so exciting, so nice.